Welcome to the series of Renga lessons for beginners. Lesson 14, Creating Documentation. In this lesson, we will study making layouts, annotating, finalizing drawings by primitives, and working with display styles. In the previous lesson, we learned how to create title blocks. In this video, we'll continue working with the apartment building model and start preparing documentation. Any document is executed using a set of tools. Users may insert project components view, axonometric view, object, legend, schedule and table into the drawings component. For that, choose the needed component on the Tools panel. Let's place floor plans. In order to add a floor plan, click the View tool. The View tool is intended to insert plans of levels, elevations, sections in a specified view scale in a drawing. We need to specify the view parameters. View. Here is the list of levels, elevations, and sections existing in the project. We select ground level on the list. View name. If necessary, we can specify the view name. Ground level. View scale. We need 1 to 100. If there is no required scale on the list, select the other option and specify ratio in the appeared window. Visual style. It allows you to display a view in one of the following styles. Wireframe. The view is displayed with all lines in black and white but without surfaces. Monochrome. The view is displayed with all lines and surfaces in black and white. Color. The view is displayed in color. The color and hatch of an object depends on the material assigned to the object. Or textured. The textures assigned to materials are displayed on object surfaces. If there are no textures, the object is displayed as in a colored visual style, but without hatch. We choose the monochrome visual style. Filter. It allows to select only those model objects that match to the specified criteria. Section plane offset. It is available for the level view and determines the elevation mark of section plane in relation to the current level. View depth level. It is available for the level view and determines the level at which the depth of view plane is located. View depth plane offset. It is available for level and section views. The view will not display objects that are completely outside the view depth plane. And object part beyond view depth plane. It determines whether to show or hide parts of objects that are partially outside the view depth plane. It is available for level and section views. To insert the view, select the view insertion point in the drawing. When we insert view, all the snaps and accurate construction are available. View editing means expanding and reducing the view's boundaries, changing its scale and replacing the view itself with a different view. View editing does not include model modification. But when editing a model, a view inserted in a drawing is automatically updated. By default, the section plane offset, view depth level, view depth plane offset parameters correspond to the parameters set for the level or section in the model at the time of the view insertion. After insertion, the parameters set in the model do not apply the drawing's view display. In order to open the view for editing or preview from the drawing, right-click the view in the drawing. Select Open in the context menu. Edit or review the view in a new tab. You can change the view parameters after inserting the view into the drawing. Let's change the display style. You can use the display style to select which types of objects you want to show in the drawing and customize their display. Any display style may be applied to any view, or an axonometric view, or an object. When selecting a display style, you can create a new style if there is no suitable style in the suggested list. For that, select the other option on the display styles list. To create and edit display styles, you may also use Manage Styles section, subsection Design, Display Styles on the primary panel. To create a new style, in the Display Styles editor, create a new style by clicking the New Display Style button or copy one of the existing style. Next, set the new style name. Architectural plan without beams and roof. Now on the right side, define each object visibility on the drawing view, to which the style will be applied. Then configure for visible objects. Level of detail, symbol, detail, simplified or symbolic. Display of object projection lines. Display of object projection hatch. Display of object section lines. And display of object section hatch. To save changes in the editor, click OK. To cancel changes, click the Cancel button. Let's apply the new display style to the inserted view. In the next step, we'll add dimensions and axes to the drawing sheet. Designation in Renga are tools intended to create the following objects in the drawings: grid line, section, tag, and callout. All the snaps and accurate construction are available for designation construction. The grid line designation includes the following methods of constructing grid lines: automatically by view, line by specifying 2 points, arc by specifying 3 points, arc by specifying start, center, end points, arc by specifying 3 points. In order to create grid lines in the drawing as in the model, do the following. Select the grid line designation. Select the automatically by view section type, and set the grid line parameters to define the display on the drawing. Grid line extension. It defines the distance from the extreme handle to the grid bubble. Grid bubbles display. Text style. Text background color. It has to be set to hide the lines located under the text. If the value is auto, then the background color of the text will match the background color on which it is located. Then move the mouse cursor to view where you need to create grid lines. And fix the grid line's position by left-clicking the mouse. Grid lines created in the drawing by automatically by view will update when you edit the model. But if you move or rename the axis in the drawing, the link between this axis in the model and in the drawing will be lost. To change the position of the created grid bubble, select the grid line. Edit the grid bubble position using handle. Let's move on to the dimensions. The dimension tool makes it possible to dimensing in a drawing and includes the following kinds of dimensions: automatically by view, linear dimension, diameter dimension, radial dimension, angular dimension, and elevation mark. In order to create the same dimensions in the drawing as in the model, do the following. Select the dimension tool. Select the automatically by view section type. Move the mouse cursor to view where you need to create the dimensions. And fix the dimensions position by left-clicking the mouse. If the dimensions are plotted on the view, linear dimensions and elevation marks will update automatically when the model is changed, but only if they were built using object snaps, the object endpoint. Diameter, radial and angular dimensions are not updated. We recommend you check the dimensions on the drawings after the model is changed. Users can also manually finalize the drawing and add dimensions that were not included in the model. For that, select required dimension type, set dimension parameters, dimension value type. Select one of the following options, the dimension value. It is determined by the distance between the points automatically, or text. With text you can set any value. Value. It is defined automatically if a dimension value has been selected. Dimension scale. It has to be set if the dimension is calculated automatically. For dimensions to be displayed correctly, the dimension scale shall coincide with the scale of the view in which dimensions are plotted. If there is no required scale on the list, select the other option and specify ratio in the appeared window. Landing line orientation. It sets the landing line orientation if the text is moved to the landing line when editing. Text style and text background color. Now apply the dimension to the view. All snaps and accurate construction are available for construction of dimensions. To finish preparing the drawing sheet, let's add the first floor plan, the typical floor plan, and the top floor plan or plan of the 16th floor. We place the plans next to the ground floor plan, add axes and dimensions. To do this, we repeat all the steps from the beginning. Finally, let's add the floor schedule created in Lesson 11. In order to insert created schedule in a drawing, do the following. On the Tools panel, click the Schedule tool. On the Parameters panel, select the schedule on the list. Select the schedule insertion point in the drawing. In order to open the schedule for editing in the drawing, do following. Right-click the schedule in the drawing. Select Open in the context menu. Edit the schedule in a new window. If necessary, users can finalize drawings by primitives. It involves using Tools line, text or hatch on the Drawing tab. Let's finish the drawing by adding the floor names using the Text tool. To insert a text, select the Text tool. By holding down the left mouse button, set an area on the drawing. Enter and format the text in the text editor window. Click OK. To edit a text, select a text using the Select tool. Double-click the text to open Text Editor or select the Edit option on the shortcut menu. In the text editor, the following commands are available: cut, copy, paste, undo, and redo. The text editor allows you to set a font family, outline, size, and color, as well as set paragraph alignment and insert symbols. To make the text easier to read in the text editor window, adjust the zoom. This setting does not influence text display in a drawing. You may change the order of lines, hatches and text in drawings with the Arrange option on the shortcut menu. Now, using the Line tool, we add section lines to the views inserted in the drawing. In Renga, users can set the drawing properties that were created in the Object Properties editor. For that, in Drawing tab, right-click to open Context menu. Select the Properties option. Type a value in the Value text box. Click OK. This is the end of Lesson 14. We will continue studying the creation of drawings in the next lesson. To learn more, watch the video, Basic Course. Lesson 15, Tags and Callouts.